And it was about 10 o'clock at night, and we were getting ready for bed, and I got a phone call from an unknown number and happened to answer it. I usually wouldn't, but I answered it. And it was a detective, and she introduced herself and said, "Are you Larice Williamson? Are you Morgan Harris's mother?" And I said yes, and she said, "I'm just calling to let you know that she is deceased."
And there's been too many lives lost because of it, because of the negligence.
And specifically in our case, we've had judges and prosecutors that just completely dropped the ball. I'm sure Morgan wouldn't have been killed.
I had gone to southern Utah to visit my kids and grandkids that were there. And it was about 10 o'clock at night, and we were getting ready for bed, and I got a phone call from an unknown number and happened to answer it. I usually wouldn't, but I answered it. And it was a detective, and she introduced herself and said, "Are you Larice Williamson? Are you Morgan Harris's mother?" And I said yes, and she said, "I'm just calling to let you know that she is deceased."
The detective stayed on the phone with us while we screamed with each other. Over that course of the 20 or so minute phone call with the detective, we learned that she had died in a fire in a storage unit, that she had been locked in, and it was her boyfriend that did it.
Yeah, we had received some bad news prior in the week. My girlfriend lost her son. And then that night of the funeral, my ex-wife and daughter called me and said, "We need to see you." And, nothing prepares you for what that can be. It's some kind of tragedy probably in your family, but when they said it was Morgan, it surprised me.
Yeah, one of my first thoughts when I found out that she passed was, oh, I'll take Huck.
She's had him since he was a baby. She loved that dog. We have so many pictures of her with the dog. She would dress the dog up for Halloween with her, and Huck was her best friend.
And then we had to find out that Huck was in the storage unit with her.
And it's really sad to think of him dying that way too. And in some odd way, it's kind of a comfort that they were together.
I don't know if she was aware of his record. I want justice for my sister. And I believe the way that she's going to get that is if her killer stays behind bars for the rest of his days.
Hi. So there are going to be a million questions and a million angry people asking me about the charges or lack thereof. So after 15 months of waiting for charges to be filed, we talked to the DA and the attorneys and everyone today, the investigators, and ultimately they just don't have enough evidence to take the case to trial with any hope of winning. So I kind of don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to just focus on Morgan's life and celebrating the good person she was. rather than how she died. And maybe using how she died to bring awareness to the issues in the state with APNP and domestic violence, but just continuing to love her.